been up to a market full to see. I fell in with a farmer shell, the modern girls of building.
That's him.
It used to be best pair. Never I
That's the guy.
When I got up to the
Welcome. It's Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. We are in Napanee, Ontario, waiting to play a show tomorrow night, assuming that the end of the world doesn't occur this evening, because according to the weatherman, it's going to be tonight and tomorrow. So, but we're here with you. Dave's got a new name for me. Brad Pita Pit.
Like Brad Pitt. Brad Pita Pit.
Brad Pita Pit. So yeah, there we go, boys. The lovely Dave Gunning, we're gonna get a hold of the lovely Ginger, and it's a possibility that Coot's even there. He's home from his piracy adventures in the South Seas. We'll have to ask him what it was like in the barrel.
It was his turn.
His turn in the barrel. Yeah, so there you go, folks. Good night. Oh, sorry, no. Let's call the lovely Ginger and see what she's up to. Let's see here. Lovely Ginger. The lovely Ginger is always in the house. Always in the house of my heart. Hello. How are you?
Oh, good.
Cool. We made it again, another Wednesday.
Yes.
This will be the last string theory, incidentally, until the 5th of April.
Wow.
Yeah, there'll be
Right.
no, there's no more. I have no more days off.
Oh.
So this show is brought to you tonight by Creemore Lager.
Creemore Springs.
Creemore
And
Lager.
Dogfish Head.
And Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
And CF Martin Guitars. I don't know. It's the shirt I grabbed. What do you want? So for Capo Corner, we're going to tell you about our tour. This guy and me. We do things on stage and stuff.
You're good with details.
Fiddle-dee-dee and all that shit. So tomorrow night, hopefully, we'll be at the Doghouse Studio in Napanee, Ontario. It's February 23rd. February 24th, we'll be at the Royal Canadian Legion in Dundas, Ontario. February 25th, the Registry Theatre in Kitchener, Ontario. February 26th, a house concert in York, Ontario. February 27th, I'll be doing a clinic at Strings Guitar Shop in London, Ontario. February 28th, Alien Performing Arts Centre in London, Ontario. March the 1st, Meaford Hall in Meaford, Ontario. March the 2nd, Refined Brewing Company in Sarnia, Ontario. And then March the 4th, we will be at the Irish Cultural Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's going to be awesome. And then March the 6th, we will be in the Avalon Theatre in Surrey, Manitoba, just west of Winnipeg, Brandon area. And March the 7th, we'll be at the Exchange in Regina, Saskatchewan. March the 8th, the Basement in Saskatoon, a place we've been many times.
Yeah.
And then on the 10th of March, we'll be at the Arden Theatre in St. Albert, Alberta. March 11th will be the Nickelodeon in Calgary. March the 13th, we'll be doing a workshop at Stang Guitars in Edmonton. March the 14th, the Shell Theatre in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. March the 15th, the Rotary Performing Arts Centre in Okotoks, Alberta. March the 16th, Empress Theatre in Fort Macleod, Alberta. And that's where we're going to end for now. If you want to find out about any of those shows, go to www.gunningandcormier.com. And there should be ticket links for every one of the shows. And if there isn't, just contact the box office of the venue. And there you go. We're trying to get trying to get to the second show tomorrow. Started in Schenectady a couple nights ago.
Some weather rolling in here.
Yeah, there's some big weather coming in. Hopefully it shouldn't disrupt too much, but we're at the mercy of the old man winter, the fucker.
And if the show doesn't happen, we'll get it on the way back.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen tomorrow night, they're going to put it in the first week of April as we're on our way home.
But hopefully it'll be tomorrow.
Hopefully it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So right now, because I think it's most of these shows are sold out or close to it. So you need to make sure if you want tickets, you get on it right away. One more thing I want to talk about before we end Cable Corner is there's some flaming fucking asshole online claiming he's me with my profile picture and saying and my name and saying he's me and speaking to people through a platform I'm unaware of called Telegram. It is not me. Not me. And it's pretty serious shit. He's trying to get people to give him money for prizes that they've won on string theory and blah blah. It's all bullshit. I don't know who it is, but if I find you, I'm gonna have fun with your lungs.
I think the rule is that you'll never ask anyone to personally message you.
No, and I will never ask anyone to pick up their innards from the sidewalk.
If you get asked to personally message JP, then it's not JP.
I will also not ask anyone to walk with the fat end of a baseball inserted in their anus.
What?
Whoever this is
Is
doing
this show
this.
still going out live?
Oh, absolutely. First question goes to
Super chat from Jamie Reed.
Jamie. How you doing, buddy?
How's the tour going, boys? Good to see Dave. Also, what guitar is he got with him this tour?
I decided to take the Ferk guitar, which is a guitar that I had built. Roger Smith helped have it built through Ferk for our Gunning and Cormier shows about 5 years ago or 3 years ago. Oh, 5 years ago. And anyway, I ended up bringing that guitar because it's just very reliable. You know what you're going to get with it. And I had to fly. He picked me up in Boston, and it's a guitar that I know is tough. I wasn't worried about it getting damaged or anything because it's just a tough guitar and doesn't really let me down ever. So I ended up bringing that just because I could count on it.
Connect.
Thanks for the question.
A super chat from Stephen Baker.
Stephen Becker.
Mm-hmm. How many capos has Gunning wore out so far this trip?
About 7.
Well, we've only done one show, so I got one capo, a shub, got about halfway through the show, and then we had to call it a night. It was a short show. Yeah, without a capo,
Without a capo, Dave sounds a lot like Jim Neighbors.
I know one song. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like it the capo. Do you like it the capo?
Do you like it the capo?
I like it the capo.
Yeah. Dave actually sounds like Old Man River when he's at the capo.
Yeah,
So we can't let him play without one.
Tennessee hernia forward.
Yeah, Tennessee hernia forward. Clenchy the clown.
Yeah.
Connects.
Super chat from Ian Rossiter.
How you doing, Ian? Good to see you, buddy.
There's your-
We're gonna see you soon.
Okay.
I hope so. He's in Edmonton, I think.
Very good. How are the road eats?
The what?
The road eats, the food on the road.
Oh, I don't know. It's all run together.
Don't-
We're not starving.
We had a really good meal here.
Yeah, the first night, yeah.
I had lamb, and you had a beautiful pork,
And I had a schnitzel, yeah.
and we had wicked sushi. Where was that awesome place? Down in New York somewhere.
Oh yeah, that was in Albany.
Yeah, so we've lucked out a couple of times here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple of egg McMuffins.
Yeah, there's been some pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there was some good wood-fired pizza down in New York.
Yeah, we're out of there now though.
Yeah.
We're out of the U.S. market for a little bit, so back to the Canadian Fair.
Yeah.
A lot of safe food up here, as you can tell. Next,
Super Jet from Crawdad Watson.
Crawdad.
Have you ever played a froggy bottom guitar? I heard a D12 Dreadnought 12 fret was blown away.
Yeah, I've known about them for years, but I've never played one. I think I was in the room with one 20 years ago at a jam session in New York or Boston or something. And yeah, I've never played one. They're a single bench guy, so they're very hard to come by. Same as, George Crackett that I just met in Albany. And, a lot of the guys, Olson and the guys are just building guitars by themselves, Grit Lasker, Linda Manzer, Mark Beneteau. It's hard to see those guitars because they only build 5 or 6, 7, 8 guitars a year. So they're not really very easy to find. But I've never heard anything bad about Froggy Bottom. Matter of fact, I've only ever heard good things about them. So maybe someday I'll get to play one. Kernarcht.
Super Chat from Jeff Gallant.
Jeff Gallant.
Jeff?
Hey boys, have either of you played on a Boss Katana 50 Mark II amp?
Nope.
No.
What is that?
I'm assuming it's an electric amp, and I've never played with an electric. I've never played in public on an amp with an electric. I've only ever used electrics for when I was using electrics on stage. It was my Gretsch, and I just put it right through a DI because I only play clean. So I suppose if I had to do whatever dirt and distortion and everything, have an amp. But
Yeah. I have
I don't know anything about them.
I got the Blues Deluxe,
Yeah, I have a Fender Twin reverb, but again, I only use it clean, and I never take it out of the studio. So
have you had it to your studio yet?
I haven't got it there yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, it's on its way. It's
Yeah.
en route.
It's been waiting.
It's at Glenn's.
It's waiting at Glenn's. I haven't had time to go down there and get
I
it.
saw it there, yeah.
It's been there for months now. Kernarcht.
Question from Todd Cagle.
Okay.
Hey JP, this is off topic, but I was curious in your Alvarez search if you ever tried the 12, it says foot, but I think you mean fret, 12 fret Dreadnought they have now. If so, how did you like it?
You could play a 12-foot Dreadnought.
12.
You could. If anybody could, it's you.
Probably.
So the 12 fret Dreadnought that he's talking about, I think, is the slope shoulder. And I've been trying to get Chris Meikle to send me one for months. Because I had one. I had one of the early ones that Alvarez put out, but there's a Yeri version of that guitar that's about $3,000 Canadian. Same as the others, right, that I play. And it's unbelievable. The Alvarez that I had was unbelievable. And I don't know, well, actually, I do know why. At the time, I sold it because I couldn't get my head around the 12 fret neck. And I at the time, I was just being an idiot, and I wasn't using it live. And Robin actually broke me of that when I started playing his triple aughts. I decided, okay, I'm not doing the stuff I need the 17th fret on. So I took tunes out of the show, and ever since then, I'm just as happy on a 12 fret body as I am a 14, except there's things I can't play on a 12 fret unless I'm using my signature model, which has a cutaway, which is also a 12 fret body, neck to body. So yeah, I'm actually wanting to get one of those. If you can find one, I would buy it without question. So, Kernarcht.
I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh god. The pressure.
The pressure.
Oh god.
Pressure's getting to her.
Yeah. Okay, here's one from Jim Boucher.
Cool.
JP, I have the SG52C with a factory Fishman Matrix Infinity pickup. Sounds very tinny. Thoughts on swapping out for a K&K?
Absolutely. Fishman is the worst pickup ever built. I hate to say that because they make the best acoustic amp ever built, in my opinion.
Sounds like he doesn't have a preamp for it either.
Yeah, well, no, they have a preamp in the end pin in those.
Oh, okay, because
It's a barrel preamp.
I had a
Yeah.
pickup similar to what he's described, and I had to buy a Model G preamp, a little square box.
Yeah, they don't. They have it inside now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they just sound horrible.
there must be a battery in his.
Yeah, there's a battery in it,
Yeah.
and they sound like shit. And there's just no way around it. I
If
can't
not,
help it.
you need the preamp with the battery in it.
Yeah, but you have it if it's a recent. Obviously, it's a recent guitar, so you have a barrel preamp in that guitar and a battery, and a volume wheel in the sound hole, and they're fucking garbage. They're just not worth. I've pulled them out of guitars and thrown them in the garbage because there's no point. You can't put them in anything else. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So go get a K&K. Or, like, the best thing that I've ever heard in the UST world is what Dave uses, which is a LR Bags.
But I'm leaning heavy on the mic.
Yeah,
because
but
there's
it's
a microphone in
but
it.
it's an LR Bags Stage Pro. It's a mic and UST combination.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to. He uses this. He puts a hole in the side of the guitar and puts his control panel in there, but you don't have to do that. There's an in sound hole version of it as well.
They're expensive pickups, though.
Yeah, they're $1,000.
The K and K's and $1,000 or $400.
They're $600, and then you're
the one I got 600, and then you can get the lighter version for 400.
Yeah, but it's still going to cost you 600 in tax.
Plus installation.
after labor, right?
Yeah, you could be up close to. Yeah.
So the K&K is
Is a
only going
nice-
to cost you $120
It's a good solution.
and 1 hour to install. So it's $195 installed at L&M.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go. But you don't have volume control, but you also don't have a battery. You just got the sound of the guitar. You plug it into a DI or whatever you want. An amp is what I use.
Pretty slick.
And so that's what I would do. I'd stay away from USDs because there's just better options, way better options now. Unless you're Dave, he can make them sound like $1 million.
Well, but I'm leaning heavy on the mic.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not the same thing.
No, that's true. So there you go. Sorry for the bad news, but get rid of that friggin' Fishman. I told Boucher not to use them anymore. And the only reason they were using them was because people were asking for them because people don't realize how many options there are besides Fishman. Like they're just so it's just like when the Martin Thin line came out 35 years ago. It was the only game in town. And it took forever for Bags to catch on. Because Bags started out with a brass insert with a bone saddle glued to it.
Right.
And it was awesome. I had one in my guitar and it still works to this day.
Yeah.
But it took forever for Bags to catch on because Martin Thin line was the first real way to plug an acoustic guitar in, unless you're Ovation or Takamine, with a post-installed system that wasn't installed in the sound hole, right? Because all options before that were sound hole pickups. DiMarzio's, there was a whole bunch of really bad ones, right? It sounded terrible. Yeah. And so a lot of people are still thinking Fishman is it. They just haven't had enough, experience running into guitars that don't have that. Don't even I think Taylor makes one of the better pickup systems, even though it's a bit strange sounding for me. It isn't an UST anymore either. It's a behind the saddle transducer. The transducers are behind and they're pressed up against the saddle with these screws that you can adjust to either put more pressure or take pressure off to adjust individual string volume, and it catches the more vibration of the actual bridge than because they're not being crushed by the saddle; they're just backed up against it behind it. And that's a brilliant design. It's and to me that's one of the best. That's one of the best ones that are around. Not people don't really know about it. They buy Taylor's. Oh, it's a great pickup. They don't even realize what it is. I think eventually somebody will start to invent aftermarket versions of that.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be that hard an install. It's three screw holes
Right.
in your bridge, and the sensors go inside against the saddle,
Yeah.
and then your adjustment screws are in there, and you're done. And the only problem at that point is how to power it, because Taylor uses a pair of AA batteries
Thanks, Bunker.
in a barrel that's beside the end pin, and they don't last long.
Yeah.
AA's just don't last long for powering guitar pickups, and that's again why I use K&Ks. I don't ever have to worry about batteries, and the reason he uses his is because his battery drawer is in the top of the guitar.
If I went through as many guitars as you've gone through, there's no way in hell I could afford the system I got. It would cost you about $50,000 a year in pickups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kernarkst. Are you still there?
Okay, sorry, I was muted. I was chewing on chips and hummus. Sorry. We have a super chat from Jeff Gallant.
Jeff Callan.
He says, fucking Doug Sampson, just in case everyone forgot.
Doug's retired now. I miss him already.
Yeah, he's awesome.
There's a gaping hole in the industry down there. Now because he's gone, like there's, I don't know who we're gonna go to anymore.
He'll still do stuff at
Yeah.
home, maybe.
Yeah. Love Doug.
Jack's trying to break back in. Hey, buddy, run in.
Okay, next.
Oh, Coot is watching. He's down at his place watching.
Sure he
Hey,
is.
Chris.
How you doing,
Yeah.
buddy?
Yeah.
We have a super chat from Stephen Baker.
Stephen Becker.
Gunny looks like he's dressed to run when the cops show up.
He is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always. One of us has to be.
Yeah, I'm not, so
Yeah.
I'm too fat to run, so I'm the decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's carrying all the money in contraband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get to the next town. He always
Yeah.
connects with me.
Yeah, I get out eventually. Somebody bails me out. Okay, next.
He ate 3 cops last time.
That's why they call it the Brad Pitt pit.
Yeah.
A question from CFS.
Okay.
JP, I've seen your old video with the FERC D35 ASR. Do you still have that guitar?
No. No, I don't have any Ferks or Stonebridges anymore. I get pissed off at them and sold them all. Which is all now public knowledge why that was done. If you want to go back and watch the review of the Maestro guitar and my story on Brickhouse guitars with Roger, the reason was that they. I'm not even going to go into it. You can go back and look at the video, but I don't use those guitars anymore. Although I have to admit that they make fantastic guitars. There's no question that they're amazing instruments. But yeah, I just sort of, in solidarity for Roger, I stopped using them. Anyhow, they're awesome. I mean, Dave's got one on the road.
Yeah,
And it smokes.
And I still love Roger, and
I still love Roger
Roger
too.
still sells those guitars at his
Yes.
shop. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
so it's not all bad, but
yeah. I'm just
getting
funny that way.
messages here.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, it's mostly from Chris. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course,
He says I look
Chris.
like I'm on a bad acid trip. Yeah.
Connect.
And don't check your phone when you're on TV. He says pay effing attention. Yeah, like he's dedicated to the show.
You ever notice that the backdrop of this looks like we're Bert and Ernie with the 2 beds?
Yeah, that's right.
At the end of the show, we just both go to bed in our stripy pajamas.
That's how we could have started the show that way. We just
Yeah,
the
we
show
could have.
starts
Yeah,
and we get on the bed with our
we
jams.
could have just laid on the bed and done Bert and Ernie.
We might do a Storm State edition tomorrow.
Yeah. Knerxt.
Question from the Happy Knot.
Happy good night.
Do most classical violin players prefer a loud, almost screeching upper register, maybe the Strat sound, as opposed to a fat bottom end a fiddle may prefer?
Yes. Classical violinists prefer screaming volume and no tone. They make tone with their hands, so they don't care if the fiddle is thin in the bottom. It needs to be piercing and powerful in the high treble.
Fitting in with the orchestra.
Yeah, because you have to cut through an orchestra. If you're a soloist, you definitely have to cut through an orchestra. And if you never play solo parts in an orchestra, you would play a quieter, more subdued violin. If you're first violin chair, you need an instrument that just screams, right? And the less bottom end, the better. The bottom end on classical violins is very controlled and no mud, but they're clear, very clear in the bottom end, which is something that fiddlers don't like. I don't like it. I like my fiddles to have huge bottoms because of all the stuff that we do down there. We just don't play. They just don't use the instrument for the same purpose. So the articulation that a classical player needs, you can't have a big hump in any part of the spectrum of the instrument. It has to be very even, right across, and the higher you play has to be clearer than the open strings, right? A lot of that's the player, a lot of that is the violin. A very arched bridge, a higher bridge than the fiddler plays, like a higher action, which creates even more, scream to it. And fiddlers have their action quite low and flat. The bridge is flat. So yeah, it's a whole different world. I've played classical violinists' fiddles, and I can't play them. There's no way. The action's high. They use guts. They use purlon strings, like gut strings, silk wound, nickel wound strings. I just can't make them work at all. I don't know how they do it. It's just, they're incredible. It's what it is. The amount of technology in your brain it takes to play, a violin like Itzhak Perlman or Yehudi Menuhin or, Jascha Heifetz and all of my heroes. Like, I don't even understand how it's done. I've watched people do it and I just sit there mesmerized. How do they do that? How do they play four positions, and never miss a note, it's never out of tune, and it's incredible. It's just incredible to watch, and that's part of it. The type of instruments that they play, and the way they're set up, and the way the tonal palette is of the instrument is incredibly important. So, Knercht.
A super chat from Joe McGraw.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dave finally a millionaire now, selling his chicken eggs?
The chickens went on strike last month. There were no eggs really at all.
Yeah.
It's starting to lay again now. So it's just a matter of, calling back home, making sure Gus, the youngest guy, is out collecting the eggs every day.
So what's Bueller? Isn't Bueller supposed to keep them in line, or?
Yeah, Bueller doesn't collect the eggs. Or
No, doesn't he make them happen?
No.
They just lay without
He's
whatever.
a rooster. The hens lay the eggs.
I know, but I mean, they don't they have to like?
No, the eggs, they don't have to have sex to have an egg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently, like if you don't
I
have
thought that's what stimulated them to lay.
No, there's no
No.
roosters in egg factories. But what happens is the eggs aren't fertile, apparently.
Yeah, but so that begs the question, why was a chicken, is that's just the way they bred them, that they just lay eggs that aren't meant to hatch?
No, I think that they...
You know what I mean? Every other bird...
They lay an egg, sometimes they'll lay an egg every day, and they're fertilized by the rooster before they come out of the hen somehow.
Right. No other bird does that.
Well,
Lays an egg without purpose. They already... They've made it, and the eggs are laid to hatch.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know.
I didn't know that. I thought that... I really did think that hens had to be... to have an egg.
A lot of people think that, but no, they lay eggs. Yeah,
See that?
they get their chicken love on. It's actually not that different from what he's demonstrating there. Yeah.
That was...
Sorry. It's string theory. What the fuck do you want?
You're losing it. You're losing it. Super chat from Larry Rinders.
Larry Rinders. Local Larry.
We are so fortunate to have you both in our music world and as a friend.
Yeah, well, you don't do that much. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it, buddy. I'm not sure what we're doing to earn all your love, but we'll take it.
You're a good man, Larry. Thanks for making us feel good, and we love you too.
Yes, sir. Okay, next.
Super chat from Stephen Baker.
Yes.
Since JP's gonna go wild when he finds out what happens to women's unfertilized eggs. Oh dear. Let's steer away from the biology chat, shall we?
Oh, many things are harsh around here. Oh.
Next.
We have a super chat from Edward Bernato.
I know, Edward. How you doing?
Mm. Why don't acoustic guitars have electric style bridges for intonation?
They have in the past. There's been several guitars, including Yamaha, that built the screw style wedge bridges for acoustic guitars. So that system, there'd be a normal wooden bridge, right? And instead of a saddle, it would be a much wider slot, and in that slot was set like a Gretsch or a Gibson metal saddle with the 6 individual wedges that you could adjust with a screw. Yamaha put one in one of their guitars in the 70s. I was just talking to Mitch Malloy. I don't know if you know Mitch Malloy is. He's a great guitar player, singer from Florida. He sung with Van Halen, and he had record deals in the 80s and 90s. A monster player. He's got one. He sends me pictures of it every other day to piss me off because it's just gorgeous.
Wow.
And his father-in-law, I think, left it to him. And it's a beautiful guitar, and it's got an adjustable electric style saddle in it. Harmony did it. Framus is another company out of Germany that made them. I think I'm missing one. There's another one. Pan.
Oh yeah.
We saw a Pan today, an electric Pan. Pan made a guitar so it's been done. And I want to say that there's a modern version of that. I just can't think of who builds it. But I believe there is a modern version of that idea. I'm not sure how adjustable it is, but it's a multiple split saddle so that they measure it, and there's 6 individual saddles, but they're not in a straight line. So that's kind of interesting. I've seen those around, on Reverb, and it's passed through my feed somewhere. I've been encountering that. So they even do it today. They just don't put big pieces of metal in the bridge anymore because that's not very good for the sound of the guitar. But
we saw a cool guitar down at the music store today that actually my buddy Brian Langel's watching, and Bunker we call him.
Bunker.
So we saw a Takamine electric, exactly the same as the one I used to have years ago, just a different color. JP spotted it. It's
beautiful guitar.
I used to have the same one. Yeah,
it's amazing. It looks like a PRS.
I used it in Bad Habit when I was 15, 16 when I had it. So
wow.
It was my first electric guitar, first good guitar, period.
It reminds me of a PRS.
Yeah, all like neck through body.
Yeah, the top is carved and rounded, like
Yeah,
beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, it did look like a PRS.
Yeah, it's like, and it's way older than PRS.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good possibility that Paul Reed was looking at those guitars when he decided on his own design, because it's such a sculpted.
They do look similar. Yeah, I never thought of that before.
Very nice guitar.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just cool to see. I hadn't seen one since then.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
They're not common.
I've
obviously.
never seen a Takamine electric ever.
Bought it at Garrett's by the Bridge in New Glasgow. Actually, yeah.
Wicked. Here's to Garrett's.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Yeah.
Kern, next.
Super chat from Dan Tube 1.
Dan Tube.
JP, if you could wave a magic wand to become instantly super competent on a non-stringed instrument, what would it be?
Piano.
Doesn't that count as a string?
No, it's a keyboard. That would be my dream. If I could snap my fingers and be as good on the piano as I am on the guitar, even, which isn't that great, I'd be happy with that. But if I could like play the piano, especially classical music, if I could play like Artur Rubinstein or, you know, like one of those the greats that I listened to all my life, oh my God, I'd lose my mind. I'd never stop playing.
Would you dress like Elton John?
No.
You could.
Yeah. No. They don't make those clothes big enough for me. I'd have to get it made at Barnum and Bailey. Brad Pitt. Clint Eastwood.
Hillbilly Joel kind of said.
Hillbilly Joel.
Hillbilly Joel.
Nicely done. Okay, next.
Highlighted chat from Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, back again.
Really looking forward to hearing some of your new album live at an upcoming Nova Scotia show. You guys are an absolute joy to watch live.
Thank you.
Had to get one of those planned. I don't know if there's any in the books
Sorry,
yet.
I was up at 4:30 this morning. Sorry.
Unacceptable.
It sucked. This is a beautiful motel room, but it's so cold you can't let any air in, so it's just the heater blowing on me all night. It just completely ruined me. I was up at 4:30 in the morning, choking to death, and sneezing, and Jesus. Yeah. And Dave, well, look at Dave.
I'm in a different room. I slept great.
Yeah. Yeah. Next.
Question from Sean Freeman.
Sean Freeman.
Have you tried a Zager brand acoustic?
I have not. I know about them, but I don't know. Never played one. So.
There you have it.
That's it. Next.
Oh dear. Super chat from Jeff Gallant.
Jeff Gallo.
I don't know what this means. He said, Dave, have you exacerbated in public?
Exacerbated.
Not sure what he was getting at there.
Dave exacerbates in public all the time.
I have, yeah, but nobody noticed. Yeah. See, we'll keep the poker face. I am right now, in fact, Jeff.
He's very exacerbated.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Boom, chicka cow, pow, boom, chicka brown cow. Get next.
Oh dear. Buzz Gould just gifted 5 memberships.
Awesome.
Wow,
Sweet.
that's cool.
Way to go, Buzz.
Nice. See all the behind the scenes photos.
Christ. Good Jeff. What a dude.
You have to put up some more pictures for the members.
I have a metric shit ton of them, which I'll be putting up. I'm getting around to it. I'm trying to spread it out. I got a month and a half to go here.
We have a super chat from Jim Hamlin.
Jimmy Jim, Triple J.
Ginger, JP, Dave, and all. Can't wait to hear the new project, Triple J.
Oh, it's wicked.
Man, can't wait to see you.
Yeah, we should have a listening party at the barn when we get back.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Just to have Triple J sit there and listen to that.
Jim, if you're going there, I'm going there too.
All right, let's do that.
Yep.
We get back about the 6th of April.
Yep.
Hopefully the weather will be changing. Christ, help us.
Yeah. Sure, by then.
Jeebus and everybody. Moses, Jeebus, all of them. Buddha. All those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Muhammad Ali, a whole lot of them.
Question from Corey McCormick.
Yes, Corey.
JP, what reviews do you have in the pipeline that you could tell us about?
Oh God. Well, there's the first thing that comes to mind is the guitars I'm doing for Brickhouse, his Bridgeport series, and the Avalon series that Rogers invented with Jose from Maestro Guitars.
You have an ear?
Yep, the Avenir and the Recording King RD 342. It's a new series that they've just come out with, which I have one there they sent me, and it's just friggin' deadly. There's a Yamaha APX 1200 that'll be reviewed, which is sort of in the thin line category of guitars, which is my favorite thin line. For if you're playing in a big band on stage, you need a guitar that cuts through and always works. That's your guitar. What else is there? Jesus. Oh, the Cody Electric has to be reviewed when I get back. That thing is ridiculous. I haven't reviewed it because I'm waiting to go down to Antigonish to grab my amp and bring back. What else is there?
There's fiddle pickup thing from Sheldon.
Yes, Kenny Johnson's.
Oh yeah.
Kenny Johnson's filing pickup has to be installed on one of my fiddles, probably my old blonde one, which is my favorite for holding a pickup. I'm not going to put a pickup on the Bob Kogut because it doesn't. I just don't want to put one on there of any kind. So, but my old Blondie, I'm going to put my Kenny Johnson on that, and we're going to, because it's one of the it's the best pickup I've ever heard on a fiddle ever. And it's built into the chin rest, so the whole pickup is the chin rest. Even the jack is in the chin rest, and he invented these things years ago. And I was supposed to review it forever ago when I picked it up from him last spring, and we're gonna get to it. We have May and June virtually off, and as soon as we get done this tour, April, May, June, there's going to be a shit ton uptick of stuff, and now I'm getting people, I'm getting companies now because it's springtime, just every day asking me. I have a Zoom meeting tomorrow morning with Chris Meikle from Alvarez and St. Louis Music, Gary Guitars. That's going to be something. It's always something. Everybody's like, okay, well, here's the plan. So then I'm looking at, having to review another 8-10 guitars along the way, but that's fun. That's what we do here. That's how this makes us money. So it's awesome that the more views we get, the more Google money we get. So thanks to you guys. So yeah, there's a shit ton. Get a wheelbarrow. Okay, next.
Super chat from Stephen Baker.
Stephen Becker.
Which of the upcoming shows are you looking forward to the most?
The last one.
We've only done one so far. And there are 27 in total.
And it's not that I don't like playing with Dave. I just fucking hate winter. I hate it.
He prefers playing with Ginger.
Yes. We just can't do that in public, but
Yeah.
Back on to stage activity.
Yeah, it's exasperating.
It's exacerbating.
Exacerbating. That's what it is.
Exacerbating. What?
Yeah.
Anyhow, no, I'm not a fan of winter, and it is really cold here. Everywhere we're going, it's going to be ridiculous. We just seem to get no reprieve, and I just hate it. It gets in my hands and my leg, and it's disrupting. We're sitting here right now not knowing if we're playing tomorrow night because this friggin' blizzard's starting. Well, it's supposed to have already have started, but I just hate it. I hate touring in the winter, but it's one of the most busy times in the year. People don't realize, they look at guys like us and think...
The summer's busier. Summer's just festivals on the weekends.
Right.
But this could be,
This
every
could-
night of the week you're playing somewhere.
Yes, you can play 7 nights a week from October till May, and we do.
You just have to be willing to travel on the bad roads.
Or play in Arizona,
Yeah.
or Florida, Texas. Let's go to Texas next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
good.
how we're going to do that. Go next.
Super chat from Timothy Clark. His first super chat.
All right, Timothy Clark, Super Chat Virgin. Super Chat Virgin. You gotta write a song about it.
Only weird.
Sorry.
I have not heard about your opinion of Godin guitars.
I don't know. I wouldn't use one. I don't think they're good guitars. I mean, Robert Godin's been building guitars for 50 years, and he's done a lot of innovation with the whole concept of a solid body guitar with multiple pickups and mics and sensors and lights and bells and whistles and sliders and EQs and whatever. It's the man's an innovator, but
What style would they be most commonly used for?
well, Godin makes everything. So
Jazz,
anything. No,
Django,
no.
or...
No. I mean, Godin makes everything. It makes everything from Telecasters right to
Right, yeah.
gut strings and everything in between.
I always think of their semi-hollow bodies,
Yeah.
arch tops, or whatever.
Their biggest article right now is their big acoustics.
Right, okay.
Jumbos, OMs, you see them everywhere, right? And I don't know. I'm not a fan of them. I never thought they were exceptional guitars. They're guitars that would probably last forever. But that doesn't, they have to have more than that for, most players, right? But there's nothing wrong with them, but I would never play one. They're just not my cup of tea. I find them hard to play, for one thing, and they're not very loud. They don't have a big voice profile. But like I said, Godin was at the forefront of experimentation when it came to amplifying, especially gut strings. I mean, Chet Atkins played Godin because the pickups were so good, which he developed, I think, alongside L.R. Baggs, helped him do it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But I think it was L.R. Baggs that Doyle Dykes, he has a signature model Godin, which is a solid body steel string version of their, what they call a multi-ac, right? And, I'd love to be able to say that, yeah, they're Canadian and blah, 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 but they're just not spectacular guitars, in my opinion. They're good, but they're not, I wouldn't spend money on one. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Same thing goes for Seagull, which is another, all of them, Art and Luther, and there's Simon and Patrick, all basically the same company almost. They're very, very similar. Simon and Patrick look just like Godin. Norman looks just like Godin. And, so I'm not even sure that Godin might own all of them. I'm not sure if he has his hands in all the companies. So they're great guitars. They're long-lived. I know people that have sworn by them. I've played ones that were really good, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'd much rather spend my money on a Yamaha or, there's any number of things you could spend a couple $1,000s on and get a great guitar, right? That would be a little more pizzazz than those. Next.
Question from Side Dad.
Side Dad.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever replace the bridge pins on your Excellente? If so, what did you use? I've tried both tusk pins and neither work.
Really? I wonder what he means by that.
Not sure.
If I was to replace any pins, they would always be tusk. And you have to be aware that tusk bridge pins are actually come in two sizes. And I'm not exactly sure what they are.
You said you tried both, so I'm assuming he means both sizes?
That's not possible. One of the tusk sizes is going to fit a Gibson, and the other one would fit Martin style guitars. So I'm not sure what he means. But if he's tried both both profiles of tusk pins and none of them fit. That's not possible. The store might have given him the wrong one because there's so little difference between them. You can barely see the difference, but there's a serious difference. I believe the Gibson pegs are slimmer than the Martin pegs, and that's the difference. If you try to put the standard Martin diameter pins in a Gibson,
I was shutting this thing off, you
yeah,
guys.
for Christ's sake,
Chris.
you can't get them all the way in the hole in a Gibson. They won't go all the way down. So, barring that, like an Epiphone, a Gibson style guitar would work the best with rosewood or ebony pegs. So, don't keep plastic in your guitar for any reason. If you can't make a tusk fit, take it to the store and find wooden pegs, preferably ebony. It's the hardest, and they would make ebony pegs for any guitar.
Pegs make a big difference.
They do make a huge difference.
Remember the brass pegs that used to be
Yeah,
used?
yeah.
What was the reason for that?
It was
The 80s.
to add mass to the bridge
Ah,
and force and to reject the vibration of the bridge
great.
and push it right into the bridge plate.
I had bought one of those D35 Shenandoah guitars. one
I
time,
had one.
and it had brass pegs in it.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
I had one of those in the States when I was a kid. I loved
nice
that guitar.
guitar,
They were
yeah.
wicked guitars, yeah. But yeah, they make a massive difference. Like your bridge pin literally is like the little soldier that's holding your string, your ball end against the bridge plate, which is imperative if you want the top to vibrate and catch the whole top to its full performance. That ball end has to be snug in there and gripping, and literally caught on the edge of the bridge plate. And if your peg is not good, it'll come off of there and start to slip up the hole. And you'll see that the ends of your pins getting torn up, and that means the peg's not strong enough to hold the string down there. And part of it is seating as well. When you string the guitar, you got to push the ball in way further than it should be. Then you put the peg in and pull briskly up, quick, so that it comes up against the bridge plate and stops with the peg all the way in. You don't use the peg to push the ball end down. You put the ball in all the way in, an inch past the bridge plate. Then you put the pin. Then you go. It's just like setting a fish. And if the peg is not tough and like plastic or rosewood is really soft, I don't like rosewood. If it's, you'll just end up tearing the end off your peg after a few. It just won't hold up. And then your tone's going to suffer, and your sustain's going to suffer, and your volume. All three, I think, suffer with the wrong pins in. So, there you go. Next, keep trying. You can find, if you can't get tusk for that thing, put ebony in it. Next.
Super chat from Corey McCormick.
Corey McCormick.
Question for you both. One guitar you wish you owned that you don't have.
Easy for me. I'll say Boucher.
Oh, Jesus.
Harder for JP because he has several guitars. And
I wish I had
Ow.
a mint. Well, you can't. You never find one mint. But I wish I had an excellent conditioned 74 Gretsch Superchet.
Yeah, so
That's my dream guitar. I just saw one on Reverb before I left on this tour, and you saw it, Megan. How much was that? $3,000 or $4,000?
I think 3 something.
And but it wasn't. It's scary buying them because it looked good. That doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know how people treated those guitars, because frankly, a lot of people bought those and just didn't clue in that it was designed by Chet for Chet. The innovation on that guitar is stunning. What they did with that instrument, the type of pickups they use, the fact that all the controls are on on wheels on the edge of the pickguard. The pickguard is electronically attached to the guitar, like in all sorts of weird things like that. They had to alter the shape of the Bigsby handle. They had to. There was just a bunch of stuff he did, and the way it's designed, like the color, the red, the white pinstripe around the outside edge of the sides of the guitar, gold hardware, the big fleur-de-lis pattern on the headstock. It was stuff that Gretsch had never done before, and they did it for Chet.
Wow.
And that's my dream instrument. If I was ever able to find one of those, I'd freak. And also, I know that there was a reissue that wasn't quite as electronically complex as the original Super Chet, but it looked just like the Super Chet. It was gorgeous. And I played one at the Long and McQuaid Show and Shine in that hall across from the original store. You know,
Oh yeah.
used to be an Italian what was it? It was some sort of it was either a Lebanese society or a Italian society. But it's not that now, but it was then.
Still owned by the same people.
Yeah, and they used to rent it to L&M or Music Stop at that time, and they'd have these guitar weekends.
Yeah.
And I walked through there one day, and here was this Super Chet reissue, and I could have bought it.
So they're gonna start doing that again upstairs. They
Oh,
got
man.
an old Solar Studio.
Wicked.
It's just amazing the space that they have up there now. Yeah.
So that'll be my choice. How many Super Chets we got left there, Ginger?
2.
Let's have them.
So we have a highlight chat from Mark Ashworth.
Mark.
Says, I'd see you in Sarnia if I grow. He's got bad vertigo. So.
Well, hang in there. Maybe you'll make it. Maybe you'll make it. Vertigo runs in my family too. I have it, and my Uncle Joe used to suffer with it. He used to lay in his bed for days holding on to the edge of the bed like this. Next.
Super chat from Timothy Clark.
Timothy Clark.
Wanted to say I loved your album, Us. I wonder how you feel about folks doing covers of your songs.
Knock yourself out. The more the merrier. Is that all?
That's the end of Super Chats, yeah.
All right. So there's String Theory for this Wednesday. We will see you on April the 5th. Be the next time I see you. But keep your eyes open because I will be doing content along the road here on a fairly regular basis. It just won't be String Theory. But I'm definitely going to be talking to you with this maniac over here.
Yeah.
So
We got a good run coming up.
we do. If we don't freeze to death, we'll be good. Love you guys. Thanks, Ginger.
No problem.
Yeah,
You
thanks.
are the queen of my heart and the queen of the string theory world. Couldn't do without you. Hello?
Hello.
Meow? All right. We'll see you guys, well, quite a ways away for this, but we will be seeing you every week doing something. But String Theory, April the 5th. Don't forget all the dates I listed. If you want to come see one of our shows, go to the website, gunningandcormier.com. A-N-D. Don't put the ampersand. And
I pinned it up in the chat, the link.
yeah.
Click on it.
And if you can't find what you need to know there, contact the box office of the venue itself. They all have it. So there you go. We hope to see you on the road. Dave and I love you.
Thanks a bunch.
Everybody.
Yeah, love you, pal.
All right, man.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Bert and Ernie out.